Good morning. I hope everyone's doing well after those storms last night. I know it was a very long stretch of storms. I hope everyone's doing okay and that you're hopefully not having to bail out your basements. I know where I was in Mundelein, we had a lot of water. Our sub pump was really working. And our poor dog that's afraid of thunderstorms was with me getting pressure points and energy work all night. So I hope all of you are a little bit more rested than I am. If I start to make some word slippages, I am sorry. I'm not doing it on purpose to mess with you. We are going to be working on learning some more of a third style of form. Don't worry, we will be going over the first form and second form periodically as well. But I want to start introducing some of the other moves. If you've been doing some classes periodically for the last few months, especially when we weren't learning full forms to repeat and really work on those forms, you might remember some of these because I tried to introduce them to you subconsciously in a way earlier this year. So we will be going over some of those. Don't worry, we'll still be going over some of the other things that we've already been working on. So, welcome to your Tai Chi class. We want to thank the library, Cook and Aspen Libraries for providing these classes for all of us. Welcome to the Tai Chi class here by Haley Hinson. All right, let's get started with our warm-ups. So first, let's just wiggle those fingers. With all of the weather changes, you probably need your joints to move today. So we're gonna really move those fingers. Wiggle, 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 and then we're gonna open and close the fingers. You can do them rapidly or slow. And then we're gonna have the fingers stretched out wide and do big circles. And then go the other way. Point and flex the hands with wide fingers. And then palms face down, go side to side, rotating in those joints. This is great for any of the arthritis in the hands and the wrists. It's actually one of the movements that we don't only do in Tai Chi, it's also used by the Arthritic Foundation and all of the aquatic arthritis classes. So most of the movements we actually do in Tai Chi are also used by the Arthritis Foundation for their classes done in water. Before our pandemic, I used to teach them, so that's how I know. All right, we're gonna make fists with the thumbs on the inside, knock at the door. Roll those wrists big one way and then the other. And we're gonna open, wiggle the fingers again. We're gonna make fists with the thumbs on the outside. Big wrist rolls. And then the other way. Knock at the door. And then we're gonna turn the palms up and stretch them out. Reach your hands out, roll those shoulders back, squeeze the elbows in, and just reach out. And then let the arms relax, shake them out. All right, let's get those elbows open. Let's churn some butter. And then churn the other way. Or windmills, whatever you want to think. And then let the shoulders start to join with you. Go the other way like you're treading water. Standing in whatever position feels good to you, or you can be seated. Doesn't matter right now, we're just opening up. All right, we are going to take our elbows close to our ribs, and we're gonna let our palms be up. We're gonna open up one arm, it doesn't matter which one, but I want your bicep and tricep to be right along your ribs. If you've had shoulder injuries, this is probably something that PT did with you. Sometimes they'll even put a towel or a ball in between your ribs and your arm. Let's do the other one. It's kind of like you're holding a tray. Now let's just go back and forth. Keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. Let both come out and both come in at the same time. Good. Now turn the palms over. It's going to change the action in the arms just a wee bit. Keep breathing. Let all of those worries and frustrations of the day, of the weekend, just let them go. And let the arms come down and shake them out. All right, let's start with the back of the body. We're gonna roll the shoulders back, clasp the hands, take the knuckles down and away, squeeze the elbows towards midline. Take the tailbone towards the heels. Draw your navel in and up, slightly rock to the toes and then to the heels just a little bit and find your middle. And then we're gonna slowly lift those arms away from the body. But keeping the tailbone going down, navel slightly in. So we're not leaning back, we're not hinging forward, only the arms are moving. And slowly lowering them down. Bend the elbows, let yourself relax. And let's do that again. Breathe out and lift up. And then inhale. And exhale, lower down, let the shoulders relax, elbows bend. One more time. If you want a little deeper, you can turn the palms away and lower down. Let go of the hands, shake them out. Now we're going to go forward with that. We're going to clasp our hands, push the knuckles away, squeeze those elbows in. Don't bow the back yet. Right now we just want the shoulders, tailbone down, navel in and up. Squeezing those arms together, pushing the knuckles away. Big breaths. Massaging in between the shoulder blades. Good, and then we're going to lift those hands all the way up and keep the shoulders down, away from the ears. You can bend your elbows as you need to pass your head. Good, let those arms come all the way down, just like you have a big heavy hammer and you're bringing it all the way down. And we're going to inhale, swing it up. Keep those shoulders away from the ears though. Good. Turn the palms away and come up. This time you can squeeze the ears a little bit with those arms. Really reach for the sky with those hands. And then we're going to let those hands go and swing down slowly by our sides. Good. Shake the hands out. We're going to slowly turn our heads, looking to one side and then the other. Just letting the skull pivot on the neck. As we slowly turn just the head. Good. Continue to work just on the neck. And if you want to feel what this is like, you can put your fingers on the neck to feel that you're just going to draw a circle with your nose. Small circle, just moving the skull on its axis. The reason why, if you want to feel what this is like, gently touching the neck so that you know, you might feel the muscles moving underneath your fingers, but your neck isn't really moving. The spine is staying still. You can even bring your hands up to the base of the skull and you'll feel that shift. Even play with opening and closing the mouth. You're going to feel those tendons and muscles move. This is where a lot of tension headaches come from. Spiral back into the middle. And we're going to reverse that, go the other way. Start out small. It's normal to feel a little bit of crunchies or opening. Since it's early enough in the morning, you may not have too many. If you know anything about your spine, it stays nice and open at the beginning of the day because it decompresses as we sleep. Throughout the day, the weight of the earth, gravity, starts to push us all down, no matter what your age, even as an infant. Slowly bring that spiral to the center. If you know it's okay to bring your head down, we're going to slowly, not moving the neck. Again, if you want to bring your hands to the neck to feel that, we're just going to tilt the chin down. And then slowly look up, but I don't want you to give yourself whiplash. We're just slowly looking up. Don't tip too far. Just letting everything open. Good. Come to the center again. And now we're going to go diagonal. We're going to look down to the bottom right corner. And then we're going to go to a top left corner, diagonally over. Draw it with your nose, back and forth. In more of our forms, we're going to be moving our head more. Before, we were just slowly moving it, maybe a little side to side, or a glance over. Now we're going to be watching our hands more. I want you to take care of your neck. Bring the head to the center, and now we're going to do our diagonals, bottom left, up to the top right. Keep breathing. Good. Come to the center. Now we're going to do a zigzag pattern. We're going to look up. Go over to one of the corners, it doesn't matter which one. We're going to zigzag slowly down till we're looking at the floor, and then zigzag back up. You might actually have your sinuses open, and that's okay. Pause, and then we're going to zigzag down, up, all the way across. So now we're going to the top and bottom. And go back over. And pause in the center. Just let the head return to the center on its own. Roll those shoulders back and down a few times. Good. All right, now we're going to work on our spine. In some of our poses and forms before, we had done a lot more twisting the spine. We're going to be getting more into our twisting. In parting clouds, we know that we can shift side to side and maybe slightly turn, but we're going to do more of a turn and then almost a step coming in the next few weeks. So we're going to learn how to take care of our spine. So a couple different ways of twisting. If you've ever taken a yoga class, you know that they accent a lot on when to breathe and what movement you're doing. So we're going to focus a little bit on that. When you breathe out as you twist, you're actually supporting, you're creating almost like a brace. Your muscles in your lungs and your diaphragm, all of your abdominal muscles, when you breathe out, support your lower back. So that's why it's really good to breathe out as you start to twist. If you need to breathe in, again, you just pause and then breathe out. This is true even if you go to reach for something in the back seat. Try to do it on an exhale so you can support like a brace as you twist. So what we're going to do is our twisting tree trunk. To warm up, we're going to go very slowly. So twisting tree trunk, we bring our hands in front. I'm going to go to my right first. So I'm going to lead with my right. My right outer hand is going to open up like a door or moving a curtain off to the side, just like parting clouds. And it's going to push to the room behind me, and the left is going to push to the room in front. I'm going to be standing slightly in a more open position with knees bent. My toes are about 45. They're not the traditional facing forward because of my hip issue this morning. So I'm going to listen to my body and do the other safe version. All I want to do is make sure my knees aren't knock-kneed. I want them to go towards my toes the whole time. So you're going to feel a little bit of strengthening as you get deeper and deeper into your practice. Your tailbone is going to be anchor. We're going to try not to lean back or hunch forward. Our tailbone is our anchor. All right, twisting tree trunk. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to slowly twist. Our hips are going to still face forward. This is about our heart turning. So our heart turns, our nose follows as the arms separate. And then like a T position, we're going to push them in opposite directions, one in front, one in back. And on your exhale, maybe twist even more, really press those rooms away. Maybe you look towards your backhand, chin towards the shoulder. Good. Inhale, slowly unwind. If you need to pause because something catches, pause. Breathe in and out. Re-crisscross the hands. Unbend the knees. Rebend, sink in a little. Exhale, twisting tree trunk to the left. Inhale to the center. Exhale, hands down. And we're going to do it again. Inhale out. Again, this time hips are going to still stay forward. Breathe out and twist. If you need to do it in multiple breath cycles to twist, go ahead. On your inhale, you come back. Take all the time you need. All right, other side. Breathe out. On your inhales when you return. Good. Let's reach all the way up. And then bring the hands down. Good. All right, we're going to do it again. Bend your knees a little bit, and this time I'm going to let you turn in your pelvis after your chest turns. So it's going to be 1, 2. All right, your head is just going to go for the ride with your shoulder. So don't lead with your neck. That's a no-no. Pretend you're in a neck brace as you twist, and then you took the neck brace off, if that helps you. So first we continue, so I'll look to the left to show you. So our hips are going to face forward. My sternum, navel, and nose, and third eye are all aligned. I'm going to breathe out. My navel's going to start to turn, but it's going to stop because my heart is leading, but my hips are facing that way, so it's kind of like a staircase. And then my arm and nose move together. Okay? And then we slowly unwind, stacking everything back up. The other version is that we first do all the top part. Then after our head gets over there, bend the knees a little bit more, and then we let our right hip come forward, but our knees are not sacrificing. Our knees are still keeping place. After you have mastered being able to do this without your knees caving in, that's when you can pivot a little bit. So you pivot in that foot just a little bit, but that takes some practice to know your body so that you don't torque this knee. That's where a lot of people hurt themselves in a lot of exercising. They want to go like this and not bring their foot with them. So we're going to break it down again. I'm going to go to my left without the hips moving with us. Now the hips, but bend your knees a little bit more, let just the hips move. If you feel steady, you start to pivot your right heel behind you just a little bit. But you're gonna have to go top body, middle body, hips. And inhale, unwind. Foot's gonna be the last thing. All right, so let's go over that a few times. Let's do 3 times. The first time I'm gonna do without the hips moving. Second rotation, I'll do hips move with me. Third rotation, I'll let my knees move with me. All right, so I'm gonna do it a diagonal. Move around, stretch. If you need to reach up or push away, do anything you need to do for your body before we start again. All right. So let that chi flow through you. We've really been getting it activated without doing our tapping. Right now we've been using our breath and our movement versus activating through tapping for QiGong. We're doing more of our breathing Chi work. That's why we're really focusing on how you support yourself. All right, bending your knees. Find a stable base. Look at your knees. Try to go to second and third toe, the middle toes. Roll the shoulders back, sink the tailbone down. If you need to do some raising the earth and lowering to center yourself, do so. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing yet. Let yourself center. You can add knees with that. Feel yourself balancing. Good job. All right. Twisting tree trunk, we're going to go to the left first. Breathe in, unbend the knees. Breathe out, bend the knees. Just the top part is going to move with us. Inhale, come to the center. Unbending the knees. Other side, breathe out. Inhale to the center. Hands come down. Hands come up. This time we're going to let those hips come after our top body. So top body. Make sure you pause there. You've already really reached away. Then your hips follow. Inhale, unwind. Other side. Top body, then hips. Inhale, unwind. Hands come down, unbend the knees. Next round, we're going to let our knee be the third step. So it's going to go top, middle, then we pivot. Just a little bit, but not much. It's not a big pivot. We're not coming like we're passing anything or coming into a warrior two. We are just a little bit. So our foot pivots and the knee follows the toes. That's why we're always aiming toes with knees. Okay? If you need to look at your toes, go ahead and look back at your toes if you need to. All right. You ready? You're going to crisscross your arms. Bend your knees. Breathe out. Inhale. Twisting tree trunk. First the top body. Middle body. Now pivot your back right heel just a wee bit. So this whole right heel can come, or right hip can come towards the front, but your knees are still bent. Squeeze your inner thighs. Try to push the feet away. Your right back arm is going to push even more to keep you stable. Then slowly unwind, top body first, then hips, then knee and foot. Let the hands go, stand upright. Good, other side. Crisscrossed. All right. Top body first, breathe out. Middle body. Now the knee. Inhale, unwind. Top body. Middle body. And foot. Let the hands come down, and then we're going to scoop all the way up, crisscross and scoop all the way up. And hands come down. Good. Standing in whatever position you'd like. I'm going to stand in not the closest horse stance, but just sort of a medium. A horse stance is whenever you're coming to your center, to your balanced point of standing. It's very similar to a Tadasana in yoga. So right now I'm in sort of a closer, I'm not the closest. The closest is where your feet are almost touching, which we do in bird takes flight. And there's other ones that we'll actually be learning where your knees are bent and you do some twisting, very similar to a chair in yoga. But for right now, I'm going to step a little wider in my Tadasana sort of pose in yoga. As I said, in horse stance, at least that is what I learned it to be called. There are other stances that other traditions call it. There's the more medium to large, large and deep stances. Some traditions will even really hold a very deep squat in most of their forms. We're not going to go there. You will see me sometimes go down when I've really warmed up, but we're not really going to do that. This is more of a mantis or more of a very deep style and very strengthening. But don't worry, but if you find yourself really going there someday, it's not wrong. All right, coming back to that slightly medium or closer stance, whatever feels good to you. If you like a wider one today, do a wider one. Feel the breath moving in and out. Imagine that you can breathe from all the pores of the body, allowing your chi, your life force, to move through you. Chi is like matter. It is in everything. There is chi in your floor, chi in the walls, chi in the electricity that goes through your walls, chi in your Wi-Fi. It is the essence of everything. In some beliefs, that would be the pranayama, and in some it would be your connection to the universe or to source or whomever you believe in and work with. But in Tai Chi and QiGong, it's not part of a religion. It's part of the practice. It's part of your being. It's not a dogma either. It just is. So if that helps you to think of the particles, the little atoms that are just going around, especially after a thunderstorm, all those little ions floating around, you're breathing that in and out through all the pores of the body. We're going to do our twisting tree trunk, do whichever of the three or a combination that you preferred. And I want you to focus on bringing the earth's chi up into your navel. The sky's chi is going to come down into your navel, into the low dantian where it all circulates, and we breathe in and out our life force. And then it's going to come up and it's going to start to twist and turn towards both palms, equally going out. All right? What we do in our twists is we're actually massaging all of our internal organs. It really helps all of our livers, our kidneys, all of our detox system, and our digestive system. What we're doing is we're helping it to flush and fill, just like if you've ever had a massage and they do massaging in and out, or like a pump, or squeezing a sponge and then releasing the sponge when you're in water. It's like it's breathing. That's what these twisting motions are doing. We're helping to actually build a stronger foundation in our elimination systems. All right? So if you want to think of either the systems or maybe just the chi as it moves in, so then you can start to mix that beautiful combination of your Tai Chi practice, not just the moves and the breathing, but to what it's actually doing for your body. This is where the QiGong aspect comes in. QiGong is for the health and well-being of the body. The Tai Chi style that I originally learned is 4 seasons, which is all about the internal health, then the external health. All right? So let's prepare. If you want to do legs close together to start with your twist, you can. I'm going to do a medium. If you want to do wider, go ahead. Bring that earth energy up, sky energy down, and then separate them, blending them together and separating them, pushing them away, and then bringing them all back in as one. And then we do the other side, all right? So imagine that you're bringing those 2 aspects in, swirling it around in your low dantian. Let it build. Breathe in. Crisscross the hands. Breathe out as you bend the knees. Breathe in, lengthening the back. Breathe out as you twist. Breathe in as you return to the center. Exhale as you twist the other side. Breathe in as you come to the middle and out. Breathe in, crisscross the hands and reach all the way up. And hands come down. Good. Let's try that one more time. Bend your knees, inhale. Exhale, take that chi through your palms. Inhale to the center. Take the chi through the palms. Hands down. Just for fun, we're going to do a mudra as we do that. I want you to see if it feels any different in your body. So in our mudra, we're going to touch our ring finger and our thumb. In some traditions, both in yoga and in our Tai Chi, different hand movements mean different things of sending your chi and connecting with the health and well-being of your body. You may see a lot of this done in meditation, like when the thumb and middle finger are brought together, or our pointer. Both of these are different versions for connecting our mind and spirit together as one to help us relax, with the palm up. With the palm facing out, you're directing that chi like a very pinpointed laser. So we're going to do the ring finger one. The rest of the hands web together. So when we twist and we go to reach out, your hand is going to come out and then bring them together. You might see a lot of statues of avatars throughout the world, like Buddha or Jesus or other ones throughout different cultures and religions. They will actually be holding this mudra with an open hand. And it's about giving and receiving and welcoming help and support from the universe or from source. So you'll see it in many different cultures, and that's what these mean, is that you're giving and receiving, you're letting it flow through you. All right? So let's do that twist again, and just for fun, if you don't like doing the mudra, you can have an open hand. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you can even play with different finger positions if you'd like. All right, crisscross and breathe in. Breathe out. And hands come down, stand back up. Good. All right, so we're going to stop working so much on the spine and on our twists, but please make note of how you feel after doing some of those. If your lower back is bothering you after doing these, I'm going to show you why that might be the case. So a lot of people, when they go to twist or they go to move, they either want to stick their butt out or they want to over curve. So when you over curve, you're stretching this out and you're making your shoulder area do all the work. So you might be doing this kind of thing. You don't have as much movability. You feel really stuck. Even your ribs could roll out of place sometimes and then roll back in. It's not that comfortable. So stand up and then try it. You'll notice that you have more range of motion. Same thing with what I was taught, duck butting, especially if you've ever ridden hunter jumper, you're going to hear don't duck butt or don't stick your booty out. Same thing, because feel what that does to your lower back. It scrunches those vertebrae. So what we do is, if you tend to do that, instead of just tucking the pelvis forcefully, I want you to pretend that your tailbone is an anchor. It's going to drop down, and your navel is the counter anchor. Draw that navel in. So my hand's on my navel, my hand is on my sacrum. When I drop my tailbone down, this hand on my belly is going to come up just a little bit. You can feel that tilt-tuck action. Find where it feels neutral to you, where if you pointed your fingers down, or if you want, you can even duct tape a little piece of string and play with that until you figure out, do it in front of the mirror or whatever you want to, something that can lay on either side until it almost hangs down straight. Whatever is the widest part on either part, front or back, and find where that pelvis is neutral. But a lot of times we can feel it with our hands, and you'll go, oh, that feels better. Okay, just one little less than a centimeter, ooh, even better. You'll notice sometimes you need to bend your knees depending on what your body is doing, especially if you're very tight. So please listen to those cues from your body. Don't make yourself do it. Because if you're duck butting and you're turning, it's just like when you were tucking. You don't have much movability and you're really putting a lot of force here. It's almost like a 30-pound weight pushing into your low back in a wrong movement. So you want to drop that 30-pound weight and let that movement happen, okay? So let's wiggle around, do any stretches. I'm going to come down a little bit, arching my back a little, bending my knees, rounding in my lower back. Do whatever feels right for you. I'm going to let my hands dangle like a rag doll. Do any stretching or movement that feels good to you. And we're going to slowly come back up. We're going to take our arms forward, roll the shoulders back, and then we're going to inhale, open, and bring them back together. All right. Now we have been working on a simple whip. And what I've been teaching you is the traditional simple whip, which is one arm straight out. You'll see in some forms that when they start to move their simple whip, so they're no longer just doing this kind of motion, they'll start to actually move it with them, because then they're going to step and move. So just if you're watching other videos and you're like, well, they call their whip and it's like this, it's because more than likely if you have bent kind of like a crane, you're going to be moving with you. It's easier than dead weight out here. So that's why they bring it in and collect it to then move, and you'll notice they keep it through that whole form then. But if it's one like what we've been doing where we're not really moving much except maybe stepping out, our hand is still out to the side and nice and long. And you can move a little bit, but I'm just letting you know. So if you've looked up other videos or other systems and they call their whip and a simple whip or a whip and their hand is more arched, it's because more than likely they're going to do something like this. All right? So there's no right or wrong. It's just why they would do that is because, try it right now. Arm out and kind of step and move. Kind of feels like dead weight, doesn't it? This time bend the elbow and hook a little bit and then move. It's a little lighter, isn't it? So that's why. If it's really hard for you when we're practicing to have that arm down, you can bring it down low. All I want you to try to do is not to do this number where you're really reaching behind and the hand is no longer at all in alignment with your body. If it needs to drop down, that's okay. Let's say your shoulder doesn't allow you to open up to the side and it's out front, that's all right as well. Just try not to force it where your shoulder is then rolling in some weird way, because as we twist, you could actually harm yourself. So that's why I want you to pay attention to what your body feels. And when we build that chi and we're taking it through your arms, you may actually get a sense of, oh, it's stopping in this spot. And you'll notice, oh, that's where I have a nerve or muscle issue. And that's why we work with chi, for when our mind is overthinking and can't listen to what the body's telling us. When we use our chi, our intuition, our movement of our breath through our body, it tells us to look back at that spot, right? Even if you didn't have an arm, let's say you have an amputation or something, you can still send that chi through that spiritual part or the energetic part of your body. and you can still help both sides. So there's lots of possibilities of working with our chi. So let's work with our simple whip. We're going to start with our parting clouds. Again, whatever stance you want. Right now we're just working on different portions of our forms. This is where you watch the palms. We use it in a lot of forms. You can use it as your own meditation. Just feel the breath. You can either breathe in all the way across the body and then breathe out all the way across the body. But maybe your breath cycle isn't that long yet. So you can breathe in half, breathe out the other half. Maybe still that's a little too much. Do a third. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So find which rhythm works for you. Don't push yourself, but you do want to try to build your length of breath eventually. Now let your hips sway with you, and maybe you bend your knees. Maybe even your ankles move a little bit with you. And remember that little bit of twist that we were doing with our legs and our twisting tree trunk? You can let your legs move with you with that as well. Alternating, but your knees have to be bent. So there's the going back and forth, like you're weaving forward, side, back, forward. That might be your foot movement. It can be that you pivot as you go around and lean back. Pivot, lean back. Those are usually the two most common forms of using your legs in your parting clouds. Find what works for you today. Good. Then come back to the middle. We're going to do a whip on the right side. Extend that right arm out. Pick up that handkerchief and let the left arm continue in parting clouds. Soft hand, loose wrist. Now here comes something new. As our left hand comes towards the right side, we're going to bend that left knee, tap the left foot to our right ankle, and then open it back up and lean in. Let's do that again. You sway, slide, slide and sway. Your head's just going to kind of go for the ride with your hand. Good. Step back into where you originally started. Both arms continue in parting clouds. Keep breathing. All right, let's do our whip on the other side. Just continue parting clouds. You can sway, getting in that rhythm. Now when you're ready, we're going to bring that right foot. Bend your knees, right foot taps left, and then open up. If you're used to waltzing, it's just like when you're closing the box and opening the box. Just like the waltz, there are ones where you continue in the box, stepping back. We're not going to do that today. But if you're ever practicing at home and you feel called to do that, it's all right, it's not wrong. There are forms that do that. All right, let's join them together again. Whatever your normal stance was. Feel how your spine is moving in your parting clouds. Let yourself move with your parting clouds. At home, if you would like to practice parting clouds and moving, you can do that same type of movement we just did with the parting clouds and the simple whip of stepping out. Just going back and forth. And go really slow. Building balance. Squeeze the inner thighs, your tailbone is your anchor. And it does not have to be as wide as what I'm doing. You can travel. Going in a circle. Doing that same kind of movement. Or you can pivot on a single axis. You can also reverse it, going backwards. You can stay on that single axis. This is where if you've done waltzing or any kind of ballroom, it's that box step. And let's just weave with our parting clouds. Simple whip, right side. Weave with it. Let's move that left foot with us. Let's do it really slow. Good. Let's let our right join along. Simple whip on the left. First, we're just going to weave in and out. Take care of the knees. Fluid breaths. All right, we're going to add that right foot the next time around. Collect that chi, bring it in tight, and release it down. Depending on your balance, you can slide and slide. Being mindful of the flooring so you don't jolt your joints. If you need to slide, but maybe you can pick up on the second one, you can do heel toe. In some forms, you'll see me alternate between them. In some forms, it's toe, heel. So do what feels right for you right now. All right. We're going to let the left join along. So as you can see, I've gotten wider as we formed up. We're going to bring our hands together in the center. One hand and then the other. Twisting tree trunk. Prepare. Twist. Inhale, center. Twist. Inhale, center. Hands down. We're going to take the hands up. And down to the sides. Tailbone drops down, just an open position. Feel that chi moving through the body. All right, let's run through the first form, just to brush up on some things. Step together, close. Close horse stance. Tailbone drops down. We're going to do bird takes flight. Push your shins towards the toes. Tailbone drops down. Inhale, bird takes flight. And exhale down. 2 more. The chi moves up through the outer parts of the body, through the palms, and then swooshes down. Medium or small open stance, opening the gate. Scooping up like a hug. Little kid gives you a hug. Return it. Hold the hug. Right hand slides down, left on top, rotating the moon. Full rotation. We have 2 more rotations. Here we go to begin the second one. Good. Holding the moon. Usually we would do a quarter rotation, then move. We're going to progress in our first form. So as we become more aware of our practice, if you're just beginning, you don't have to move with us. You can break it down and turning. But for the rest of us, we're actually going to be looking to that left, getting ready to step, and rotating that moon all at the same time. So when we're going forward, we're then passing it already. And then we're going to wave that back, bend the back knee. Pass the hug out to the world. And wave it back. You can be in a wider stance for stability if you want. Tailbone drops down. We're going to grasp that chi hug, bend the knees, turn towards the center again, and rotating just a little bit to turn, pass it again. hold the chi. Start to turn to the middle. Centering, bringing the chi in, down through the body, standing upright. Good. All right, we're going to step together, or whatever is a comfortable position for you. Bring your hands up your sides, turn the palms over. Breathe out as you push down, signaling that you are closing your Tai Chi and QiGong practice right now. Bring one hand to your low dantian and one to your middle dantian, just feeling your breath. Stand whatever way feels comfortable. Slowly let one ear go to one shoulder, but let those shoulders roll back and down, tailbone anchors. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears, inhale up. Exhale down. Shoulders roll down. Ear to shoulder on the other side. Shrug the shoulders up, inhaling. Exhale down. Let the hands slowly lift away from the body like it's in water, waving. And then bringing back in. You might even feel your body want to follow and move with it. It's because you're expanding your chi, you're building it for the day. We've got all the chi flowing through our body. So now we're just sort of like that sponge, we're pumping it through our middle and lower dantian, through our middle and lower chakras, affecting the throat, the heart, the navel, the sacrum, and the root. And we're going to take our hands to the outsides of the body, just like that bird takes flight, but we're not going to go as high. Your body might feel conflicted. It wants to lean one way or the other, but it's not really going to. It's going to try to really stay steady. In the middle, you might be like a little pendulum weaving back and forth a little. And we're going to bring those hands behind, whichever feels comfortable. You can be by your kidneys, you can be up and down, you can be lower if you need. We're going to inhale out and breathe in and out here. Bring the hands by your sides again, signaling that we are now fully done. Feeling the chi as it moves through your body, feeling your forehead nice and relaxed. Bringing the left hand with the thumb touching the pointer's knuckle. Nice and long, slightly angled, meaning strength, wisdom. A soft fist on the right, meeting, you can either bring to fist is usually in the fighting styles and in Tai Chi, or the energy work, you usually come down. You'll notice I do middle because I was trained in both. So I tend to do a middle position because I use equally. And what this is the stubbornness, but also the flexibility of the student and the teacher meeting together, honoring not only the present relationship, but all relationships and traditions before, present, and to come. Thank you for joining me in class. I am now making it available for you to unmute yourself so that you can ask questions or you can write in the chat box. Remember that we have other classes through the library. This was a Tai Chi class. Then we have chair yoga tomorrow morning and meditation on Friday. Remember, on the 18th, the library is honoring the holiday weekend, so there will be no classes on the 18th. There are some classes throughout the fall and winter series that also, because of observing certain holidays or traditions, we will not be having class. So make sure to check out those dates. I will be sending a new email shortly this week on that, and you will have possibly a new link for these classes, but you will be all updated on that. So if you get an email from me saying that it's okay, that means that's the link you'll use, and I'll describe all of that in the email. Again, my name is Haley Hinson. Feel free to check out my website, or you can check me out on social media to look up the other classes and services that I teach every day of every week. Whether it's Reiki healing, energy healing, meditation, finding out how to find your center, or dealing with all the craziness. I also do animal communication, so if you wanted to learn how to do that or to experience what that's like, go ahead and contact me. I have yoga, Tai Chi, and meditation classes outside of the library programs as well, which are even more interactive, where we can actually talk during the class with each other and you can ask your questions. So if you have a question now, go ahead and you can either put it in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and let me know. There are no stupid questions. Was it Carolyn, you said? Carol? So right now, the biggest ones that I want you to focus on with the breathing is when we do any twisting, so that you can support your spine. So you breathe in as you prepare, you breathe out as you twist. When we're moving the chi, like when we're pushing the hug and waving back, traditionally we would inhale just like the twist as we prep. Exhale as we push forward, because we're moving our chi forward with us. We're moving from the present forward. Then we usually inhale as we wave back. If you need to break that up into multiple breathings because you're not at a 5 or longer second breathing in and out, that's fine. You can breathe in, collect, breathe out, and then maybe you breathe in a little bit, breathe out a little bit, breathe in a little bit, coming back to the center. Make it work with you, but we are slowly getting a deeper lung and diaphragm action with your breath. So it's okay if you're not breathing exactly with me. I tend to breathe to a 5 to 10 second inhalation and exhalation. I really have to shorten it for teaching so that I'm not, having you all drop off because you're holding your breath trying to keep up with me. So usually when we're moving forward, we're breathing out. When we're coming back to our center, we're usually breathing in. Same with when we're twisting, we usually breathe out. When we come back, we breathe in. Pushing down to the earth, we usually breathe out. Usually when we're collecting and stretching, we're breathing in to bring everything together and lengthen up the channel. And then breathe out to fully bring it all in and out. So does that answer your question? Are those some of the ones that you were confused with? We also did the whip, and same thing, we're breathing in as we're collecting, we're breathing out as we're separating, just like the twisting tree trunk. Right. Oh, of the neck and shoulders. Okay, yes. I do have one. It's not exactly the same, but if you want to look up actively, it is on the YouTube channel link. And with that one, it's more of an arm out and an arm up. And it's really based on the shoulders, letting all of this tension go. But I will make a video soon about just the neck isolations. Again, most of our Tai Chi forms that I teach, because I teach from the gentle aspect, you are also going to find those in arthritis classes or from the Arthritis Foundation. So if you've been taking those are great warm-ups too. But yes, I will try to make a video as soon as possible on doing those movements. This is actually a playlist of my favorite songs. So I will have to go through and let you know which CDs and which artists. Some of them are a little obscure to find, but I will try to find them and put that together. I also, for whatever reason, I have all of these forms broken down, written, but I can't find it on my computer. I think I moved it to another hard drive. But I'm hoping by next week I can actually find the correct form and have it so that you can get it out of the chats here. But I'm also going to try to include that in the next email to everybody. So, and to remind you, my email does come from my business name, Sacred Lotus Heart. And then you'll also see my name in there. So if you get things from Sacred Lotus Heart, that is me. And if you just want to receive things for the library only, you just have to let me know and I'll make sure you only get library notifications. All right. Any other questions or requests? All right. Well, I hope all of you have a lovely day and I hope you all survive the storms well. I know we might have more coming up this rest of the week. Practice your breathing. If anything, just practice parting clouds. Let yourself center. Have a lovely day.